this Grammy party and this Grammy pre-party. And I've been in these rooms with music supervisors for Insecure, for Ballers, for Power, for ESPN.
My ducks, my swans, welcome to the pod.
My name is Dorian from Group82Music.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about why I left LA. I moved to LA in September 2015. So when you watch this video, that was almost 5 years ago. And I moved there from Indianapolis, Indiana, my hometown. And the reason I moved to LA was for one reason and one reason only. Because I had dreams about what I wanted to do in the music. And I knew living in Indianapolis, that wasn't gonna happen for me. So I had to make a move. At the time, my dad had just moved to LA, so I knew I had somewhere to stay for a little bit. So I got on my feet. I didn't have any kids. I have my daughter now, Nova, but at the time I didn't have any kids. And I was just turning 30, so there was this newfound life that I had for starting something for this new decade in my life. And when I got to LA, man, I was shocked with how unhappy everybody was that lived. People always talk about how social media isn't real, and that's just not true. It's not real for the rest of the world. But here in America, from what I've experienced, Instagram is Los Angeles. The way people act on IG, the way people act on YouTube, the way people act on Facebook, on TikTok, on all these platforms where they put on a facade, that's how people act in Los Angeles. I'm not saying everybody's like that, but majority of people who move there for the reasons like I moved there, whether it was to be an influencer or get into music or get into films or be an actor or whatever, that's how they act. And it leads to not being able to develop very genuine relationships and friendships. Now, when I was in LA, I did meet some cool people. I did hang out with some really cool people. I did some really cool shit. But when you factor in the traffic, I mean, 10 miles takes you an hour and a half to drive. When you factor in taxes, when you factor in $2,500 for a two-bedroom apartment that has a washer and dryer in the kitchen and you can't even open up the refrigerator all the way, when you factor in there's lines everywhere, when you factor in the homeless, when you factor in how dirty it is in LA, there was no reason for me to continue to live there. Like I said, I'm originally from Indianapolis, but I lived all over. Chicago, Florida, North Carolina, now Texas. I've lived everywhere. So I have a pretty good range of how things can be in small, medium, and large cities. I know LA is the second largest city in America, so I was expecting things to be a little bit different, but it was just not worth the time and investment and the energy that I was putting in just to do basic shit. I mean, every time you go to Walgreens, it's 11 o'clock at night, you gotta stand in line for 15 minutes. I'm just going in there to buy some goddamn toothpaste. I'm not trying to be here for 15 minutes. That should be a 5-minute trip. Also, for any musician or producer, if you think moving to LA is gonna put you on, that's just not true. I went to all the events. I went to this Grammy party and this Grammy pre-party, and I went to such and such house. I mean, shit, I'm about to start saying names. Like, I've been over at Jazz Prince's house, right, numerous times. I met Eve from Dreamville. I met Top Dog, met him 2 or 3 times from TDE. Like, and I'm not saying anything disparaging about them, but I'm just saying when you live in Los Angeles, this is the type of shit that happens. And that shit doesn't lead to nothing. I talked to Aaron Bayshuck, the president of Warner Brothers Records, face to face, like I'm talking to y'all right now. We had a great conversation. He gave me his contact information. Doesn't lead to shit. I've been in these rooms with music supervisors for Insecure, for Ballers, for Power, for ESPN. It doesn't lead to shit. You know what leads to shit? You build your own brand. That's what leads to shit. And that's why I got so focused on building my brand online. It's gonna take me much further than I possibly could if I'm waiting for somebody to give me a handout. That's what everybody in LA is doing. They're waiting on a goddamn handout. You're waiting to get chose, to be the next model, to be the next actor, to be the next rapper. You can't wait on shit, you gotta go get it. We're living in a time right now where you have to create your own. That's the metrics that the big brands look at anyway. And you wanna come to them with leverage. You don't wanna just be sitting around waiting for somebody to pick you because now they got control of you. It's no different than you going in and apply for a job. You think you're an entrepreneur, but you're not. Because this label that picks you out of obscurity, when you didn't have no sort of leverage whatsoever, they can end your career that quick too, which is why we see this recycling of all these musicians like we've had over the past 5 years. The people that last are the people that build brands. And that's what we do here at Group 82. We help you build a brand. We're not guaranteeing you 1 million streams. We're not guaranteeing that you're gonna be rich. We're not guaranteeing that you're gonna be one of the biggest artists in the world. We're not even guaranteeing you're gonna be able to do this full time. What we're doing is we're giving you the tools to build a brand. So if you're a serious entrepreneur and you want to build a brand that you can eventually leverage and that could lead to you doing this full time if you got the work ethic, you need to talk to us. You need to go to our website, group82music.com. You need to get this shit done today. I'm out the line. Y'all stay tuned.
Group 82 Music.